Hello, are you out there? It's Mark with Redo Over, and we are back to the third stage of climbing the tower to do the tower thing. And we were taking the Velvet Choker, so that's going to give us one extra energy every turn in combat, but we can't play more than 6 cards in a turn, so we'll have to watch out for that. But yeah, we're going to proceed here, and here we go with the Beyond, Act 3. And we just scroll up to the top real quick and we can see who the final boss we're going to be facing. This is some crazy bird guy is the boss. Now, we want to look down here at our couple of paths. And in general, we want to choose a mixture of elite fights, unknown rooms, merchant rooms, rests, the whole deal. Now, we have the very special item, Winged Boots, which will allow us to deviate up to 3 times and jump, say, from this path here over to this path here as we choose. So we could really hopscotch around. It's a pretty powerful tool. It will count down from 3 to 0. Once it's done, it's done. Now let's look over our relics real quickly and see if any of them favor the unknown rooms or merchant rooms or rest sites. Not Burning Blood, Mercury Hourglass, Lizard's Tail, Vittori, no. Busted Crown, no. Horncleat, no. Nib, no. Maw Bank? The Maw Bank is still active. It hasn't grayed out. I mean, yeah, the Maw Bank is a gray whale with sharp teeth. It's like Meow. It's a little piggy bank slot on the back there. But it will kind of go dull gray once we've used it. So here's the trick. Every time we go to the next levels or the next tier, so this room to this room to this room to this room, we gain an extra 12 gold. However, if we start here and we go to the shop and we purchase something, the Maw Bank will break. We're essentially going to break open the piggy bank and we don't get the extra gold. So we would be better served by not going to this merchant, but by going to this merchant. It would get us 12, 24, 36, maybe 48 extra coin, right? Because that would be the 4th level. So, or if we could push it on even further, let's look up here, way up here. That's the last bank. That's a long way up there. Let's count out the levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 times 12 is more than 160. It's 164 or something. 168. Yeah. There's a lot of gold. Plus all the fights in between. So it may be worth doing. It's a little tricky though to wait that long for that final cash out. Because if we make it to there, we're at the boss fight. I mean, I would love to have tons of coin. Maybe we could plan on that. And remember, there's always a chance you could find a merchant at one of these unknown rooms. They could randomly be a merchant. So we could run into that sooner. Let's look at the rest of our things though. Magic Flower gives us great healing. Dark Periapt benefits us when we get curses. Of course, the Winged Boots. And finally, the Velvet Choker. So we have no preference to unknown rooms or rest sites or elites even. Like, we aren't even really geared up to fight elites effectively well. So none of that really matters to us. But we'll jump around. Let's see, we're going to hit rest sites and unknown rooms. And we'll just have some fun with it. Maybe some elite fights. So yeah, I know I don't want to hit that merchant right off the bat. So let's start on this side and we'll head up, and remember we can use the Winged Boots. So I know that was a lot of equivocating, but it's worth analyzing your runs. Now we're playing at the very baby level of Slay the Spire, so we don't have to think about it too hard. But as you climb in ascensions or difficulty levels, you really have to work. I've never gotten to like Ascension like 19 or whatever, so I'm not that advanced of a player, but yeah, you get stuck eventually. It gets hard. So you really have to think your way about what you're doing. So we have the Inflame Power, which is amazing. That'll give us 3 extra strength, just flat out. We're fighting the Orb Walker. So this enemy is going to inflict a negative effect on us and attack us for 10. We can tell that again by the red sword and the green swirlies. And they have a special strength strength up. At the end of its turn, it gains 3 strength. Ooh, and it's a 3 green. I think that's going to happen again and again. So it'll go from 3 to 6 to 9, maybe? Oh my gosh, that would be catastrophic for us. Let's jump on to Razor. Whenever we play an attack this turn, we'll gain 5 block. Yeah, let's start with Rage. We love Rage. Now, if we get an attack or 2 out, it will really benefit us. Now, we have plenty of energy. So, let's throw out our Defend. Perfect. That's going to mitigate 5 of the 10 damage. Let's throw out our Inflame. And that will, in fact, give us a nice permanent 3 extra strength. It's really useful. And yeah, we have 2 attacks left. Well, let's throw Thunderclap out first, because Thunderclap will make this Orb Walker vulnerable. Meaning that vulnerable will cause them to take 50% extra damage from our clash. So instead of 17, it will deal 25 damage. Big hit, and with Rage, this will pop our block up to 15. So we'll take no damage from this initial attack. I do want to watch the Orb Walker's strength, though, and see how it climbs with that strength up. There we go. It got 3 extra strength, and we'll notice that strength up didn't change or decrement or go away. So, yeah, I think it's going to keep building that strength. You got to kill these things fast. All right, we got quite a few things going on. We have a burn. That's not so great. It's unplayable status card. At the end of our turn, we'll take 2 damage. So, essentially, this Orb Walker is burning us. But, we have a couple options. We have the Juggernaut. Whenever you gain block, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. Very nice. Bear in mind, the Horncleat gave us 14 block just now. So that was cool. You're going like, where did the 14 come from? The Horncleat, at the start of your second turn, you gain 14 block. That's nice. That more than takes care of this. So we can really focus on, like, bashing this thing. I say bash because let's get 2 vulnerable from that bash. That'll make our other attacks more effective. We don't... do we need to worry about Juggernaut? Maybe we'll play it, maybe not. It costs 2 energy, and we want to probably do Headbutt, and we want to do Strike, but we don't have enough energy for everything, so I don't know that we're going to get that out there. But let's try the Headbutt first. And choose a card to put on top of your draw pile. This is coming from our discard pile down here. What would we like back? I would say Rage. Rage is a great card. It's always good. So let's get it next turn. And yeah, we could play Juggernaut now, or we could hit this thing again. Let's just hit it. I don't think we're going to need Juggernaut to deal that little bit of extra damage for us. I think we'll be able to take this thing down pretty effectively. So, yeah, the burn hit us a little bit, then we got more burn cards, so we're getting burned pretty badly. But this is it. Can we deal 11 damage and just finish this darn thing off? You notice its strength is still climbing. So, yeah, Clothesline, 22 damage. There you go. Simple. That was just a basic monster, right? That wasn't like a elite or anything. It's just a regular, easy guy. The Beyond is tough. 12 gold, and we get only 1 card option, if you recall, because we got the Busted Crown. So, do we want the Clothesline option? No, we're going to skip it. We have a pretty tight deck of 25 cards right now. I don't think Clothesline's going to play into that too well. We've already got one over here to do a little bit of weak. So we have ways to apply a bit of vulnerable, a bit of weak. We just try and hit really hard. But yeah, we'll just keep worming our way up through these kind of... we'll say weenie fights, getting coin, maybe getting a potion or 2. Up at the top, you can see we have 2 empty potion slots. That wouldn't be bad to get those. Let's get Rage out there again. Now, do we have anything that could hit all these enemies at once? These are the Darklings. The Darklings have the Lifelink special ability, which is this little ghosty kind of thing here. If other enemies are still alive, revives in 2 turns at 50% health. So it's kind of like a slime, and they sort of like regenerate each other. And if you look here, you can see each Darkling sort of has a second little mini Darkling lumped to its back. Yeah, kind of, it fissions and splits in my mind. Although I guess there's an ooze that actually divides. But so here's the thing: we have 3 of them. This one's going to attack us. They're going to do different things, but we kind of need to bring their health down together, sort of at the same time. You may jump to it and just say, oh, I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to hit him with everything, take him to 0. That's not going to help you, because while these two are still alive, after 2 turns, this one will just come back. So we really need to uniformly decrease their health if possible. Now, unfortunately, we don't have anything that's going to hit everyone, but I wouldn't mind having Metallicize out. Let's do it. We have enough energy to play everything. Let's put Vulnerable on. Yeah, this guy over here on the right that's attacking us. And then I guess we can headbutt this Darkling, and we'll pull back Rage from our discard pile, and we will strike this one. Now, you may be sitting there saying, oh man, this Darkling is vulnerable. You should have laid into it. But again, we need to try and uniformly bring them down. So we're going to end the turn, and we have more than enough block to stop that 7. Our Cleat, our Horn Cleat's going to kick in for round 2 and pop us up to 14 block, which should get us safely through the second round here without too much damage. Ooh. All right, check this out. 9 attack. 9 attack and 2 times 8. That's a truckload of damage coming through. So what can we do here? Well, we can play Rage again right off the start. That's what we always do. I would be tempted right now to try and kill one of these, like this guy in particular, outright and stop that 16. Is there a way we could do that? The Pen Nib is at 9. Every 10th attack you play deals double damage. You'll notice the nib is pulsing. Can you see that color pulse there? You see that? That means it is at the 9th. The next attack we play right now will be that double attack. So what could we do? Clothesline would hit at 24. He's vulnerable. That would hit to 36. Strike is at 12 to 18. Right? Is that what it does? Yeah, double damage. Yeah, it's already doubled. So listen, Clothesline could take this guy out all the way. Or could we get him with these other... let's see here. That would be 21, and then the strikes. Yeah, check this out. Oh, no, these guys aren't weak. So that's not going to do it. Oh, I'm trying to do some brain math to see if I could take out more than one of them. But I you know what? I can't. Because these actually have 9 block each, making them much harder to take out. And they're not vulnerable. So let's use the Clothesline over here because it's 1 card, 1 hit. I was equivocating because I wanted the 2 weak to be applied to one of these other guys. But we were way better off stopping that 16 damage. So it was kind of like a suboptimal play on our part to keep a lot of damage from coming in. The good news is that 9 plus 9 is 18, and we have 19 block thanks to the Horn Cleat. So we are safe for this turn. But now we got to whittle these suckers down real quick, because this guy's going to come back in 2 turns. Right now, it's unknown what he's going to do. But yeah, we can play 2 strikes and a swift strike. So we need to burn through one of these guys. Let's get the middle Darkling, because he's sitting at 39 health. So we got to burn through his block. There we go. We crushed through the block. And there would be no point in hitting this Darkling, because the 9 block would mitigate any damage. So although I'm saying we need to bring them all down in uniform, like together, it would be a complete waste to only hit the block. It wouldn't reduce its health at all. So we're going to keep focusing on the middle Darkling. We'll end turn. Let's see what's going to happen next. Geez, our freaking armor got up to 37. That's massive. It's a massive block. They took a little bit of damage because of our Mercury Hourglass, slowly chipping away at everyone. Now, let's look at this Darkling on the right. This enemy intends to use a buff. That buff is to come back to life next turn. So he's going to pop back in there at about 25 health. So what can we do? We have some great cards. We could get Defend out, which would free up Clash, because remember, Clash can only work if all your other cards are attacks. We have Thunderclap, which would put vulnerable on everyone. So let's try that first. Now they're both vulnerable. They have no block whatsoever, so they're very susceptible to damage right now. Now, Whirlwind, we could throw out there and deal 8 damage to all enemies X times. Well, X is our 4 energy, so that's 32 damage. Well, that nearly gets this guy, but remember, he's vulnerable, so that is it. We don't need these other cards right now. We need Whirlwind. Let's apply it. And you saw each of those hit for 12, dealing a total of 48 damage to a vulnerable enemy. More than enough to take him out. And I don't think we took a point of damage, so that worked pretty good, yeah. Gold, 15, Swift Potion, and add a card. Perfected Strike? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think we've got an improved Perfected Strike already. Let's get another one in there, because if we count up our strikes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's add another one. Let's add that. That'll take us to 8 strikes and give us 2 of those monster Perfected Strikes for doing some serious damage. We're doing really well in the fights right now, but let's go to an unknown room. Remember, we haven't had to use our winged boots at all yet. We're more than capable of taking on most of the fights we're running into here. Oh, you come upon a dapper-looking Shuri gremlin. It's time to spin the wheel. Are you ready? Of course you are. Play. We don't really have a choice. You don't get to say no to this. And there's nothing you can do. You can't even back out and reload. It's just set with the random seed, so you're going to get what you get. It can be good, it can be bad. Full health, we healed. Ooh, a free heal for you. Healed to full health? Yeah, we didn't need it. Ooh, yeah. All right, there you go. That was kind of a waste. That was kind of a waste of our time. What are you going to do? We'll continue on the path. I don't want to waste the winged boot just yet, so we'll jump to this monster here. Oh gosh, look at this tentacled horror. This is the Spire growth. And if you can see, the color and the structure of it is sort of similar to the background here, right? This is meant to be a creature that grows right out of the structure of the Spire here in the Beyond. No specials. There's no special anything. It's just going to hit us hard. And of course, the Mercury Hourglass already chipped away at 3 health. So what can we do with this? Whirlwind right now ain't going to help us a whole lot. Even if we were to deal 40 points with Whirlwind, it's just a little chunk off of there. So we need to do a lot of other stuff. Yeah, I think we should get Juggernaut out there right now. Let's get our Inflame out there, which will make all of our hits much harder. And then we could defend to stop some of that and do a little bit of damage with Juggernaut. Or I'd rather get the Bash out there right now and get that vulnerable on the critter. And I think that'll help. So yeah, we're going to take a truckload of damage when that comes in here, unfortunately. In the future, we'll use Defense, and Juggernaut will help magnify it. Now, our Horn Cleat kicked in, and I believe when that popped up, the Horn Cleat did deal 5 damage to a random enemy. There's only one enemy. And we got some great options here. Metallicize, Fire Breathing. But we have both of our Perfected Strikes out. So here's the deal. When you have Vulnerable on an enemy, hit hard when you have the chance. And I can see that this creature is strategizing. It's going to intend to inflict a negative effect, a powerful negative effect on us. So let's Perfected Strike the fudge out of this son of a gun. Here is 49 damage and 37 damage. Yeah, now it's over 2/3 dead. Very cool. We have a little bit left. Metallicize, not bad. I don't know if we're going to need it. Fire Breathing, it's not really putting any statuses on us, so I don't think that's going to help. Let's get one more strike in there for 13 damage. Our Pen Nib is loaded. The next strike will be double damage, and it's down to 49 health. We'll end our turn. So let's see what this debuff is that this creature's putting on. It's Constricted. Check this out. By the way, you can see our Pen Nib displays down here when it's ready, when the next attack is ready to deal double damage. But here's Constricted. At the end of your turn, take 10 damage. It's going to squeeze us down. It's wrapped its tentacles around us. Not in a good way. So can we deal the final 46 damage this turn, avoid the 22, and avoid the 10 Constricted? Let's hope so. What do we have? Sever Soul, exhaust all non-attack cards in your hand, deal 38 damage. Again, because of the Pen Nib, it is an attack. Swift Strike would just deal a straight 20. Clash, we could get out if we get Defend out, and then, of course, Headbutt. So our strongest card is, in fact, Sever Soul. Now, here's the great thing. If we play Sever Soul right now, it'll get rid of the Defend, freeing up the Clash. Cool. I think we've got this pretty easily. So it hit for a monster amount, and, of course, now we have all these cards left. That's all we needed right there. So not too bad. It did hit us one time, first round, really hard. But I think it was worth setting up the other cards we had. So let's get our gold. Let's get a weak potion. Applies 3 weak. That's not a bad potion to have. And add a card to your deck. True Grit. 9 block and exhaust 1 card. It's a very good block card. I almost would be willing to take it. Being able to exhaust 1 card occasionally is not a bad thing. Say we had a burn card in our hand, and we're like, well, we need some block. Incoming attack. Let's use True Grit, and we get to choose the card we exhaust. I would go to the burn card, which would normally deal 2 damage to us at the end of our turn if it's in our hand, and exhaust it and mitigate that damage out. So this is a way better defense card. 1 energy, 9 block. Bear in mind, it's already improved. Because we're like in the Beyond now, we're going to see a lot more improved cards. So if we come up to our deck and we look at these defense cards, yeah, True Grit's way better than a defend card. So let's take it. Yeah, what the heck? It's a good card. It's not like key to our deck build, but if I would take it over defense any day. So do we keep going up here? Do we start jumping around? We have 3 jumps with the Winged Boots. I like the idea of hitting campgrounds. It'll allow us to improve cards. We have some question markies here. So check it out. We could jump to here, from here to here, hit the question mark, hit a campground, hit a question mark, hit a campground. Yeah, we could weave through here pretty good. Or do we want to go for the elite fight? Get the extra relic. It's not a bad idea. There's quite a few campgrounds beyond if we need the extra rest. Yeah, let's just charge ahead. Let's take on the elites. Let's go for it. Okay, tough fight here. These critters are jawworms. There's 3 of them. I don't think there's anything really special about how they're going to attack. They're either going to like buff themselves and attack and just get stronger and stronger. You can see they've already each got 3 extra strength from their aggressiveness. It's bad news for us. We could run from this fight. We could draw 3 extra cards. We could apply weak to one of them. It's all good. Let's throw Inflame up. And Perfected Strike. Ooh, we could dang near kill. Yeah, let's see if we can take out this middle one here. Boom. And let's get... We'll hold on to True Grit. Ah, dang. So here's the thing. If we want to use Clash, we have to use True Grit, and we'd have to exhaust our Strike card. I think we need True Grit because it would roughly mitigate out one of these 10s, and we want to kill this guy. So let's do this. Let's play True Grit. We'll exhaust Strike, and we will kill this guy with Clash. There we go. So 1's down, and that 9 block will roughly neutralize all that damage from that Jawworm. We'll see what this guy does. He's going to buff himself up some more. Yeah, he did. Doubled his strength, doubled his block. Now our Mercury Hourglass kicked in, took a little bit off of there. I got a 13 coming and a 10 coming. Can I stop this? I have enough energy to handle everything, and we already have 14 block from the Horncleat. So let's throw up Metallicize. Why not? Throw up Defense. Why not? And I don't think we have enough to get one of these guys all the way down. But we'll start with this one because he's hitting harder and he has less hit points. So let's just start chipping in. Strike, strike, strike. We got him most of the way down. Obviously, we're going to take a little bit of damage here. Oh, that was nice. Our Metallicize kicked in for 3 extra block. Now, it's a bummer. Every time they get through our block completely... Oh, what? No, I take that back. That's Metallicize. I was thinking of Plate Armor. Plate Armor is the one that decrements, goes down. Okay, We have a massive attack coming in. This guy is doing some defensive strategizing, whatever. He's going to buff himself. So we need to kill this guy, stop that 17 attack. So we can do that. Let's Thunderclap to put Vulnerable out. Let's do the Perfected Strike. That protects us. And we'll throw up Juggernaut because we don't need the extra defense since he's not attacking. We'll end turn. All right. I think we're in pretty good shape here. Oh, and when Juggernaut kicked... actually, when our Metallicize kicks off, it damages him with the Juggernaut. So it's pretty good synergy. I want to use Clash, Swift Strike, Bash. It's all good. Let's get Fire Breathing out of here to free up the Clash. We'll use Bash to get vulnerable on the Jawworm, and now we can just finish him off with these massive attacks. Oh, and I see our Nib is ready to go, so that was simple. Okay. And we healed up 9 additional. Remember, our Magic Flower is improving our Burning Blood by 50%. So we're at max health. 15 gold and Rage. Yeah, I'll take another Rage. You can never have too much Rage. It's just a free card. It's just a 0 card. It always benefits you. So yeah, I always want to take it. So yeah, we deliberately want to fight the Elite. So we're going to plow right into the sky. And we still haven't needed to use our Winged Boots at this point. In a lot of playthroughs, you would be dodging the tough fights, but yeah, we're going for it here. So this is a very interesting and horrible creature, the Reptomancer, with her minion daggers, these like spectral daggers, I guess. Now, the trick is, we don't know what this creature is going to try and do, but what you find out is with these bigger bosses that summon minions, little helper guys, the more you keep their minions cut down, the more they'll try and summon more minions. And you may think, well, that doesn't sound good. You don't want more minions, do you? Well, you don't. But if they are satisfied with the number of minions they have, and I'm thinking of like the gremlin, the big gremlin boss guy, he'll summon a bunch of little gremlins. But if they have their helpers, they're more likely to attack you. And their attacks are big. They'll be like, 3 times 12 damage or 2 times 16, or, they're going to hit you for like 30 damage. So I don't want to take that damage. So I want to whittle away at these little guys, and in my free time, whittle away at the Reptomancer and get them down. If I just focus on the Reptomancer, it'll just summon like 3-4 of these daggers, and then they'll all hit us for like 80 points of damage in one turn. It'll be game over. So we have Cleave out, which is pretty nice because that will do 8 damage to everyone. We have True Grit, block, and of course Swift Strike. So let's start with the Cleave. Boom. I'll tell you what the bummer is maybe with Juggernaut and using True Grit and Defend, we could deal the 5 extra damage randomly from Juggernaut and get this guy down. So let's get Juggernaut out there. I'm kind of like crossing my fingers here. Let's play... It's only 5 damage. I'm just trying to think here. If there's a better way to do this. There's not. There's not a better way. We're going to hit there. And then we're going to play defense. And it's going to deal 5 damage randomly to somebody. Oh, we got 1. And then we'll play True Grit, which randomly dealt 5 damage to the Reptomancer. However, we were able to get to 14 block. Thus, we will stop this dagger attack from coming in. We'll end the turn. I'm going to remember that we have our weak potion. In case this Reptomancer tries to hit us for big damage, we'll throw weak on her, which will help mitigate out. Ooh, there's a big 13/2. That sucks. That sucks a lot. And this guy's going to hit us for 25. So let's use the weak potion. Okay, that takes that down a little bit. And let's try and kill these 2 off. Let's start with the 25. So let's get our Inflame out. We've got some good basic attacks. Okay, let's use a strike over here. That guy's dead. Awesome. Now, this clothesline will apply weakness, but she's already weak. So I'm not really worried about weakening this creature. We just want to kill it. So there's a 15. There's a 9. It's dead. And now we just are going to take the 18 damage, but we have the 14 block because of our cleat. Cool. It's good. It's good enough. And with any luck, we can force the Reptomancer to now summon more daggers on its next turn instead of attacking us again. Mercury Hourglass hit. Oh, and the Torii kicked in for us. Remember, whenever you'd receive 5 or less unblocked damage, reduce it to 1. So I forget the Torii's up there sometimes, but that really helped. All right, we've got some great cards here, folks. Really good cards. Let's get Rage out. Yeah, we don't even need Rage, but it doesn't hurt to play it. In this sense, creature's not going to attack us this turn, so we don't need to really worry about block. We'll get Fire Breathing out because it'll free up Clash. And then at this point, we can use all these attacks. So let's just use Sever Soul. We don't have any non-attack cards to exhaust. Let's use Clash. We're hitting hard, and let's use Headbutt, and we'll get a card out of our draw pile to go back on top. So, Cleave maybe? Because I have a sense that the Reptomancer is going to summon another minion. So Cleave would be a nice way to hit everyone. Sure, let's do it. And we'll end our turn because there's nothing else we can do. Of course, the Mercury Hourglass is going to tick off, dealing 3 points or more damage. But it'll hit the minion as well, which is good. Interesting. Wow, we got some options here. Whirlwind would just deal a flat 55 damage. Well, I'm curious, though. I'm looking at our pen nib. We're 1 away from a double damage attack. Would that double all the damage for Whirlwind? I think. So here's the deal. We can play Anger to click our next attack up to 9 to get the pen nib ready without spending any energy that we would want to fuel Whirlwind. Let's try. I mean, look, Cleave's a good card. Perfected Strike is massive. But let's try this. Let's use Anger on the Reptomancer. Ooh. If all of the Whirlwind ticks off 5 times at 22 damage each, it would kill the Reptomancer. It'll definitely kill this guy. We got this handle, so let's not sweat it. Let's just go for it. If we're wrong and this Reptomancer doesn't die, they're going to hit us for 18 damage, unmitigated. This isn't great, so let's just try it. Let's just go for it. That was 110 damage. That worked out well. Okay, that was good. 31 gold, Matryoshka. The next 2 non-boss chests you open contain 2 relics, not 1. That's good. That's good. And that also informs us, non-boss chests, well, the middle chest in the level is a non-boss chest, so that'll get us 2 relics. We're going to get that no matter what. However, the other way we can get chests, non-boss chests, is by going to unknown rooms. Because we have the Matryoshka, we now have more of a reason to go to find that chest to get 2 extra relics. So we may use our winged boots now to jump between the unknown rooms, hunting for a chest. So let's add a card to our deck, maybe. Cleave, improve Cleave, deal 11 damage to all enemies. Sure, I'll take it. Our deck's not too huge. We're at 29 here. All right. So we came out of that with full health. Rest sites aren't bad, but I want to go hunting for chests. Now we have a chest here. So look, we can hit 1, 2, get this chest in here. So we have chances. Let's move through here and try and get that chest. This is not a chest. Okay, that kind of sucks. Ooh boy, this is a tough fight. Bear in mind, we have the smoke bomb. Escape from a non-boss combat, receive no reward. Let's do that. This is I think we could win the fight. We've got Cleave. We've got an improved Cleave in the deck. But it would be tough. Yeah, let's just use the smoke bomb. Let's just throw it. It's a thing we have. We don't need to. We want relics right now. We're not going to get relics from these guys. We're going to get a little handful of change and maybe 1 card. Pfft, forget it. Sometimes there's no reason to fight some fights. So we're just going to move on. Here's the next question mark. We got our little mob bank still kicking off. Duplicate a card in your deck. Oh, wow. Before you lies a decorated altar of some ancient entity, the duplicator. There's no reason you wouldn't probably want to use this. There's always going to be like at least one card in your deck that's really good or that your deck is built around, so there's no detriment. It doesn't hurt us. So we're gonna look. What would we want? Another Inflame. That's a really good card for our build. Second Whirlwind, it's come in handy, but it's not that great of a card, especially in the final boss fights. Got some good stuff in here. Clothesline, True Grits. We could get more Rage. We don't need it. We could get another improved Perfected Strike, which would add an extra strike card to our deck. Yeah, they're all good. I think looking at this, though, it's either improved Inflame or improved Perfected Strike. And it will duplicate it with the improvement. You know, not the basic version. So, I think we're playing a strike deck, if I had to name it, more so than a strength deck. If you notice, there's really not other cards in our deck that give us strength. There's cards that can double strength. There's the one that like makes you kind of buff temporarily. It'll give you strength, right? So we aren't really playing a strength deck. So I'm not going to double Inflame. I am going to go for Perfected Strike and have 3 of those in our deck of 30 cards. So 1 out of 10 cards is going to be that Perfected Strike. And it makes the other Perfected Strikes better because it added a strike verbiage card into our deck. So it's getting powerful. Here we go. We get 2 relics here. The Whetstone, upon pickup, upgrade 2 random attacks. That's cool. We don't have that many. If we look up here, we have a handful of attacks that aren't improved, and we have a handful of attacks that are improved. So 2 random ones I'll take. And we don't get to choose, but Swift Strike. Cool. 49 gold. And the Dreamcatcher, whenever you rest, you may add a card into your deck. That's cool. Sure, yeah, why not? I mean, it's just more cards. Let's hit this next question mark. Again, we're trying to find that extra chest. No, dang it. This isn't the fight I wanted. You see these Darklings are slightly tougher than the last batch. Their base health is higher. But it's going to be kind of the same process here. Let's get Rage out. Let's get Inflame out. And then we have a very nice Cleave, which is going to hit everyone pretty hard. Not bad. We don't really have a way to mitigate out this incoming damage, but we do actually. Our Rage will buff us up exactly to 9. So let's do a Sever Soul on... I want to actually hit this guy before the block comes in. Boom. Right? Get his health down. And let's hit this guy before its block comes in. Yeah. And we completely mitigated out the 9 damage. Now, our Horned Cleat is going to kick off on round 2, giving us 14 damage. But yeah, so you see the logic there is these guys kicked in with those big blocks right off the bat. So I knew it would be harder to take them down. Now, this one over on the right is still the most powerful hitter. I would like to take this guy out completely because then our 14 block would handle the 16, the 7 and the 9 pretty well. So what can we do here? We have enough energy to get everything out there. So let's throw out our Metallicize, which will push that up to a 17. And then, yeah, let's hit with everything else. I want to kill this guy outright. And then maybe with our Clothesline, we can weaken this guy. Yeah. So here we go. Let's punch through on that. And, oh yes, the improved strike is just enough to kill him. So we've mitigated that damage. And then let's Clothesline here. Big hit. And unfortunately, I don't want to strike this one because, again, the 9 would only hit into the block. It would be completely wasted. We'd deal no damage. So we will focus on the middle guy, getting him pretty close to death. And we'll end our turn there because we don't have a choice. And we'll see if next round we can finish them off. But we won't take any damage right now. Okay, let's see what happens. Neither one of them has block up. So this is a great chance to finish them off. Now, this is our main focus because there's damage coming in. So We, of course, have to get the defense out of there to get that clash fired off. But altogether, I think we have enough to do it. So let's try vulnerable here. And, oh, not quite. Son of a gun. We'll drop the clash in to kill it. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Here, we get the defenses out. Clash will kill this guy, mitigating all that damage. Strike will come in. Oh, and our pen nib is ready. I didn't know that was going to happen, but I thought we were going to be a little short, but the pen nib boosts it, killing it. We win again. 16 gold. Gambler's Brew. Sure, we'll take it. You always take a potion. I don't use Gambler's Brew a lot, but there could be a rare instance it would be useful to us. And add a card to your deck. Twin Strike? Yeah. Twin Strike isn't the best card, but it's a strike card. And we're playing a strike deck, so do I need it? No, but it plays into our deck pretty well. So we will take it, pushing us up to 31 cards. It's a pretty fat deck at this point. Now, we can deliberately chase after these elites, getting more relics. And we have a couple question mark shots left. So, like, say we were to go from here. If we jump to here, jump back to here, at that point we can then hit. Oh, we got to be careful though, because we want to make sure we hit this piggy bank. We want to hit the piggy bank. So let's see here. We have 3 jumps. We could go 1, 2, move to here naturally, and then jump to here with our third. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do 2. We're going to do elite fight, this question mark room to try and get that last chest with the Matryoshka, and then we're going to jump up here to the merchant. Unless this is a merchant, in which case we'll spend our money and then we'll move over to here and try for the chest. So yeah, here we go. We're flying over to fight this elite like crazy. This is a little crazy, I'm not going to lie. Hunting after elites is not generally recommended, but let's do rage. All right, what do we got here? Dang it, I want to get my clash out. So I'm going to True Grit, Exhaust Strike to free up clash, to get anger. But we're going to have to do a lot of damage to this guy. And I'm watching the pen nib here. We're going to try and push that up. So this is the Giant Head. It's slow. Whenever you play a card, Giant Head receives 10% more damage from attacks on this turn. So essentially, when you can hit it, with 4, 5, 10 attacks, it'll really boost the damage up. But otherwise, it's just going to slowly count down to get to some big attacks. It's going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and on 1, it's going to hit you hard. So what else can we do here? I don't think Fire Breathing is going to help us at all, because I don't think this guy bestows status on us in any way. No, it doesn't. All right, so we're not going to worry about Fire Breathing. Let's Twin Strike. We'll defend. We'll defend. Yeah. Hell, we'll throw Fire Breathing out. What do we care? We've got the energy. End the turn. So at least we won't take any damage right there this turn. It's down to 3. Mercury Hourglass hits. God, we got a ways to go here, folks. Okay. Inflame. Perfected Strike for a big 39. Cleave for 14. Yeah, Cleave is better than the Whirlwind. Boom. And another Cleave. Sure. And we're watching the nib, of course. We may end up using the Gambler's Brew to potentially get some better cards in our hand. And we can also use the Swift Potion to draw cards if we need them. This is going to be a tough fight. We don't hit that hard. Can we get Weak out right now? Yeah, let's dump Weak on there. Swift Strike. And again, this guy's slowly climbing here with each hit. That was a 10. That was a 17. Oh, that was the nib just kicked off, by the way. Okay. We're going to take the 9 points of damage. We're not going to mitigate that out, unfortunately. How are we doing on time? Pretty good. Massive attack coming our way. Juggernaut Headbutt. Oh, I wish there was a way to weaken this guy right now, but I don't see it. I can get all these out, though. So here we go. We're going to throw Juggernaut out. We'll Sever Soul, because it's not going to hurt us. We will Headbutt. We'll grab a card out of our discard back. What would be really useful? Clothesline? Yeah, we want to get the weak on this guy if possible. And here's Clash. Pretty big hit. And of course, we're building up our armor with each attack we do. It is time. Here they come. So you see these are starting to get crazy large. So that's why I wanted to have Clothesline, is to help mitigate that damage down. Got to be a little careful here. I would love to get Bash out there, but there's a really good Perfected Strike ready right now. I think we're going to have to do that. We'll throw Metallicize out there. This is tough. I'm just trying to think if we should use the Gambler's Brew right now or the Draw Potion. Essentially, are there 0 cost cards that could benefit us? Nah, not really. I mean, Clash maybe, but we'll end the turn. We're just going to take a lot of damage here. This guy's going to, like, dump truck us. Now, we can still go to camp rest sites and rest up, so that's not a bad thing. 30 points of damage incoming. Holy crud. Here we go. Let's Thunderclap to get vulnerable on this critter. Strike 1. I'm watching the Nib. Strike 2. Nib's ready. Perfected Strike for 140. And this guy is going to frickin'... He's down to 14 health. Okay. There's a slim chance we could get some 0 cost cards. What do we have? Anger and... Here. Discard any number of cards and draw that many. Check... Oh, gosh. Draw 3. Oh, shit. We got the clashes, right? More than enough to kill this guy. 17, 17. He's only got 14 health left. But we can't play them because True Grit. We can use the Gambler's Brew. We're going to drink it. We may discard as many cards as we want, but it will replace it. So we can discard True Grit. And whatever card replaces, we need it to be an attack so that we can use the Clash to kill this thing and not take the 30 points of damage. This is a gamble. It's the Gambler's Brew. Yes! They're all attacks. Clash is ready. We didn't want to take that 30 points of damage. It would have dropped us to 20 health. That was close. 32 gold. The Gremlin Horn. Whenever an enemy dies, gain an energy and draw a card. Yeah, that's good. Explosive Potion. Deal 10 damage to all enemies. Yes, please. And finally, add a card to your deck. Iron Wave. Oh, that's such a good card. Improved Iron Wave for 1 energy is a good attack and a good block. It doesn't really play into our deck that well, but let's take it anyway. At this point, we're going for it here. So, do we go hunt another elite? We could die. You know what? I didn't promise that we'd make it to the end of this run of the Spire. We're going to go for the elites. We're going to use our wing boots to fly back across per our plan. We're just going to go for it here. We're just going to go crazy, folks. Going ham. We could whirlwind the heck out of these things and just fry these down right now. I could get Juggernaut out. I could strike, and headbutt and finish them. And we have dealing... Yeah, here, let's throw that out there. We'll deal some damage. Let's... Can I kill them all? Let's get Juggernaut out. I want to kill one of them off altogether. The idea there is if I play defense, Juggernaut has a chance of hitting this guy. But yeah, here, let's get defense out. Hit Juggernaut there. The Clash will kill this one. Cool. Iron Wave. Or we whirlwind everything. 8. Yeah, let's do whirlwind on that final shot there. We'll hit end. we're wearing her down pretty quick, but she's going to summon another dagger right now. We'll keep hitting those minions. She's planning. She hasn't decided on what she wants to do, so let's get our rage out. Let's twin strike and oh shoot. Oh, that was nice. The gremlin horn actually does work off of minions, so it's actually feeding us more energy and feeding us more cards. That's great. So let's clothesline. We'll get weak on the Reptomancer. We'll strike, and we'll throw defense out because with Juggernaut, every defense card is also an attack. So we're wearing her down pretty quickly. Rage wears off of us, but it's cool to see all that. And let's see what she's going to... She is going to attack, even though she did summon. So we got great options here. These are all attacks, meaning that our clash will work. Now, I would like to use... I got to be a little cautious, though, because when we kill this creature, it's going to give us mana and draw another card, so it could neutralize out clash. But I want vulnerable before I do anything else. So let's do that. Sever Soul would free up any non-attack card. And we are at the nib. The nib is ready. Fantastic. Let's Sever Soul on her. Cool. If we kill this guy, we get extra mana. Let's use Cleave. Will that do it? Oh no, not quite. Crud. Let's do Swift Strike over here. We'll get the card back. Okay. We'll do Clash. And we'll do Strike. Yeah. That worked out pretty well. 29 more gold. Look at this. We have 570 gold. That's a lot. For any run, that's a pretty good amount. Warpaint. Pawn pickup, upgrade 2 random skills. So this is like the Whetstone, except for skills. So we'll take it. We get a Rage and a Defend. That's cool. We get a colorless potion. Choose 1 of 3 random colorless cards to add to your hand. It costs 0 this turn. Very cool. And finally, Iron Wave. Improved. Yeah, let's take it. That's the second Iron Wave in a row we've gotten. All right, we know that we want to hunt for a chest. This is our last chance. Nope, we didn't get it. That sucks. We didn't ever get to use the second charge of the Matryoshka. All right, this is the Winding Halls. As you slowly make your way up the twisting pathways, you constantly find yourself losing your way as the walls and ground seem to inexplicably shift before your eyes. The constant whispering voices in the back of your head aren't helping either. Passing by a structure you are certain you have previously seen, you start to question if you're going insane, or if the impossible geography of this place is starting to get to you. You need to change something, and soon. That's what the voices say anyway, and why would they lie? We have 3 options. Embrace the madness. Receive 2 madness, lose 10 HP. That's not max HP. Madness is a 1 energy cost skill, reduces the cost of a random card in your hand to 0 this combat, and exhausts it. Exhausts madness. That would be really good if we got it on a perfected strike. It would make it essentially free. Our other option is focus. Become cursed with Writhe. We heal for 20 health, but we get an innate unplayable card in our hand. Writhe's not good, but theoretically if we go to the merchant next turn, we could take it out of our hand. And we could get some health back. We actually need health. Or retrace your steps, lose 4 max HP. That's not good. I don't really want the madness. I think I'm going to take the Writhe because I know I can mitigate it out. So that's what I'm going to do. We're nearly to full health. Oh, we are to full health. There you go. As you take a moment to stop and carefully observe the undulating landscapes around you, our Periapt kicked off. Okay. As you take a moment to stop and carefully observe the undulating landscape around you, the hint of a pattern starts to emerge from within the randomness. Whenever the demented noises begin to interrupt your thoughts, you struggle through the mental pain and ignore it. Eventually, you successfully map out a path forward and continue on, now resistant to the nefarious nature of this alien place. We wanted to take that curse all along. I chose it for other reasons. I completely forgot that we had the Darkstone Periapt. Whenever you obtain a curse, increase your max HP by 6. That's what we did. It popped us up. We're at 86 max now. That was great. So we should have been hunting for curses the whole time. We're going to leave. And at this point, this is tricky. We could try and go find one more chest, gambling, to hope that the Matryoshka will get us 2 more relics. However, we're sitting on a massive piggy bank of 582. That'll buy us 2 relics easily. So we're going to take our last winged boot and jump this gap to the merchant. We're going to jump into the merchant. We got some great stuff here. Now, remember, we have a curse card we'd like to remove. Removing the curse will not take away our HP. Remember, the Periapt just says when you obtain the curse. It's not saying when you have curses. So I think we should use our card removal service potentially to get rid of that Writhe curse. However, it is 75 gold. We want to make sure we can get what we want before we do that. So the first thing I look at are, down here at the potions, I'm always looking for like a fruit juice. There's an occasional potion that will permanently increase your max health. Really rare to see it in the shop. I don't see it here. So I'm not worried about those potions. Now let's look at the relics. Shuriken, every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 strength. That's not bad. On a lot of turns, we are able to get 3 attacks out. It's pretty common for us. So the Shuriken, or Shuriken? Shuriken, I think, would be good. The Orichalcum, Orichalcum? Yeah. If you end your turn without block, gain 6 block. That's not a bad relic, but it means that if you even play 1 defense for 5, you won't get that. So it's the kind of thing where it's never not helpful. It's helpful, but it's not helpful all the time. It's never going to hurt you, but a lot of times you're going to be getting blocked from other things, and that isn't that useful. If I have the cash, I'll take it. And then finally over here, the medical kit. Unplayable status cards can now be played. Whenever you play a status card, exhaust it. There are some decks in particular with the Ironclad that really work off of exhausting cards, and get you more cards. It'll deal damage, all sorts of cool things. We're not playing an exhaustion deck, so I don't know that the medical kit is particularly useful. So now let's look at our cards. Down here are some colorless cards. Dark Shackles. Enemy loses 9 strength this turn. It would exhaust the card, so you only get to use Dark Shackles once. Down 9 strength is really good. It's a chunk of damage, but it is only for 1 turn. So in a sense, you're almost better off just playing a good defensive card that'll just give you 7 block or 10 block or whatever. Again, if we had an exhaustion deck going, this would be a great card, but I'm not that interested in it. We have Thinking Ahead. Draw 2 cards, put a card from your hand on top of your draw pile. So you get 2 new cards, and then of all the cards in your hand, you get to take 1 of them, put it on top of the draw pile, and then you exhaust. Okay. That's really expensive, though. 189. It's a little rich for my blood. What do we have up here? Carnage. Ethereal Attack. Ethereal just means that once it's in your hand, if you don't play it, it disappears. It exhausts. If this card is in your hand at the end of your turn, it is exhausted. So it's a use it or lose it, is what ethereal means. When you see it, you got to use it, or poof, it's gone forever. 20 damage is good, but we've got really good damaging cards. We don't need that. Clash, maybe. We have a Clash or 2 in the deck. Possible. Armament, gain 5 block. So think of it as like a defense card. 5 block for 1 energy, but it also upgrades a card in your hand for the rest of the combat. Now, many of our cards are upgraded, all these green cards at this point. Quite a few, but less than half. So Armament's not a bad card. And I think you can improve it. What's the improvement for Armament? I think we have 1 campground left. The next, right? Let's look at our map. We get to go to a campground. Now, we're already essentially at full health. So if we were to improve a card like Armaments, I think the improvement is that all the cards in your hand are improved for the rest of the combat. I think that's a pretty good card. It can come back around. Questionable. We're going into a final boss fight, so let's try to gear up for that here. Power Through. It's a skill. You add 2 wounds into your hand, you gain 15 block. Okay. It's a good block. It's a lot of block. 15 block for 1 energy. It's a really good block card. Over here, Fire Breathing. Whenever you draw a status or curse card, deals 6 damage to all enemies. Interesting. You know what? Power Through would work well with Fire Breathing. I think we already have a Fire Breathing. But see, this is a way, Power Through is a way for you, the player, to add status cards, wound cards, or status. Literally, it's right, the wound card is showing. It's showing right now. I can't point to it right there. So you could build a deck where you're giving yourself status cards because you specifically have a card like Fire Breathing that you want more status and more curses because it's just going to hit the enemy over and over. In fact, we have a curse in our deck right now. We don't have to get rid of it. We could keep it. We could keep it, save the 75 gold for the removal service, use the Fire Breathing we have. We could buy this Fire Breathing, and we're like, oh, I can't wait to draw the curse. And we're going to get Power Through. We're going to add 2. I want the wounds to come up. I want the curse to come up, and Fire Breathing is going to hit all the enemies over and over. We're a little late in the game, though, to go that way, to build that deck. It's a little late for that. So I think we should go into the card removal service, and I think we should nuke the Writhe. Confirm. Okay, we're down to 519 gold. All right. I'm not actually blown away with any of these cards, although Armament on sale for 27 may be worth doing. We may get that, but let's look down here. The Shuriken, yeah, I think we can. We know the boss fight's going to be several rounds of combat. We may be able to pop this off definitely once, maybe 2 or 3 times. Let's get the Shuriken. Okay. The Orichalcum, I don't really need it, but let's grab it just because this is it. And we still have a bit of money left, so I wouldn't mind armaments because I'm strongly considering improving armaments for real. But we also have the ability to get a potion here. We could get Liquid Bronze, would gain 3 thorns. When receiving attack damage, it deals 3 damage back. So this would actually work really well in conjunction with the Mercury Hourglass, just dealing little bits of damage to the enemy. We could get the Fire Potion. It's just 50 damage, and we could get Ritual. Oh, I think we're going to take Ritual, folks. Of all the potions, gain 1 Ritual, gain strength at the end of your turn. Over and over. This is like the cultists. They do the ritual on themselves. They get the blue feather. It's the same magic, we'll say. We're going to get the cultist potion. Because in the boss fight, we're going to drink it right away. And every turn the combat goes, we'll get 1 more strength, 1 more strength, 1 more strength. That could really help us vanquish the enemy. Unfortunately, that's all of our gold. We can't even get armaments, so we're going to leave. That's all right, though, because when we go to the campground, we can improve one of our other cards. Doesn't matter. So we'll go to the final campground here. We don't need to rest, but we can smith. Which card do we improve? We've got great cards. I'm trying to think of how we intend to go through this fight. If we got Clothesline, weakness would last for 3 turns instead of 2. That's not bad. I could also see doing Bash for the same reason. Vulnerable for 3 turns instead of 2. Those would both be good. I'm thinking of a really powerful boss with a lot of health that's going to take a long time to wear down. So you might sit there and say, why don't you improve Perfected Strike? And now that it'll do like 40 damage. It's like, sure. But when a boss has 300 health, 400 health, you would have to, that Perfected Strikes, like the extra 10 or 15 damage, you'd have to use it like 6 times, 8 times to finish off the boss. Whereas having a boss weakened for 50% longer or vulnerable for 50% longer in the combat, essentially meaning instead of 2 rounds, 3 rounds, it's pretty strong. There's not one card that stands out to me here for our final improvement, the final thing we can do. None of these are really standouts. Metallicize, it just goes from a 3 to a 4. That's pretty small. That's a pretty small improvement. Sever Soul goes up to 22. That's just a bit of damage. Yeah, all these are just going to give us a bit of block or a bit of damage. I really... Let me see here. Juggernaut. 7 damage on the block. No. Thunderclap doesn't increase the vulnerability time, so that's a big no. Obviously, Twin Strike, Clash, Perfected Strike. Fire Breathing? 10 damages for status and curse. Now, we didn't really work Fire Breathing in. Okay, so if that's the case, is it better for the enemy to be weaker? Or for the enemy to be vulnerable? Yeah, Bash and Clothesline are similar cards. Weakness is a 25% reduction, whereas Vulnerable increases our damage by 50%. And do we have any other cards that work off of... not really. I'm just trying to see if there's any reason we'd want to focus weakness versus anything else. Not really. Not really. I think it's going to be Bash. It's not some great pick. Like, I equivocated for a long time there because nothing really stood out. But we're going to want a lot of Vulnerable here. So let's jump in. Here we go, folks. This is it. Here's what we got. We have 2 Cultists. They do what Cultists do. And we have 1 Awakened one. This hideous bird creature. Now, before we look at the Awakened one is not summoning the Cultists. The Cultists are kind of creating the Awakened one. This is the ritual. It's probably a Cultist that they're raising up to this hideous bird creature, transforming it. But here's the point. The Awakened one will not summon more Cultists. So when we kill these 2 Cultists, they're gone for the whole fight. So we want to take them down pretty quick. But if you look at this monstrous creature, you see right here, this dagger, that's the twin-pronged ritual dagger jammed into this hideous creature here. You can see it's sort of got these human arms. It doesn't have wings. It's a bird, but it doesn't have wings. It has arms. It's a cultist that is becoming awakened. They're making their deity like a monster, a demigod. I don't know. It's horrible. I love it. I love it. So what else can the Awakened one do? It's going to attack us. It regenerates. At the end of its turn, it heals 10 HP every time. Curiosity. Whenever you play a power card, it gains 1 strength. That sucks. Fortunately, we are not power card heavy. I think the only one we have is our strength and our inflame. And unawakened, this enemy hasn't awoken yet. Okay, well, when that happens, it's going to happen. So here we go, folks. Let's start off with our ritual. We're going to drink it. Caw-caw! Screw you guys. They're going to do ritual. We got ritual. There you go. At the end of your turn, we gain 1 strength over and over and over. And then we got some great cards here. 2 Perfected Strikes, a Headbutt, a Bash, a Strike. It's all good. Our nib is at 4. Obviously, we want to get 3 attacks or more out per round, so the Shuriken will drive up our strength even more. Of course, we have the Colorless Potion. Do we do it now? Yes. The only reason I wouldn't necessarily do the Colorless Potion right now is if I had a Clash in here. Because a non-attack card would interfere with the Clash. That's not a concern. We don't have a Clash. So we can safely drink the Colorless Potion now, and we will get one of these cards. Metamorphosis. Shuffle 3 random attacks into your draw pile. They cost 0 this combat. We don't know what they are, but they'll be free in their attacks. So they won't interfere with Clash or anything else. That's probably a decent card. Dark Shackle. Enemy loses 9 strength this turn and it's exhausted. Maybe. We don't have any mitigation against that 20 damage coming in right now. So it's possible. And then Swift Strike. Swift Strike is nice because we could use it over and over through the combat. But we already have some really good attack cards. So Swift Strike isn't really that potent. Metamorphosis, I think, could be a really good one. I think having 3 more 0-cost attack cards, and we don't know what they are, is better than Swift Strike. The only reason I would take Dark Shackle right now would be to reduce that incoming 20 damage. But I'm not going to sweat it. We're going to gut the damage. Let's take Metamorphosis. We will play it right now. Reckless Charge, Rampage, Fire Fiend. So those are in there. Perfect. Now, let's get Vulnerable out on this. We need to make sure we take these two out. So... trying to think about how we can effectively kill these guys. We have two good Perfected Strikes. 36 and 36. We can get him most of the way down. I would like to bash him. I don't have enough mana to do all this. 6 plus 36 is going to get us to 42. Ooh, it's tough, folks. We don't have a good way to get all these out. But we got to kill the cultists. We don't have a choice. We got to kill the cultists. So that being said, Perfected Strike. Perfected Strike. Headbutt. Pull back a Perfected Strike. That's everything. We should be able to finish this guy off reasonably easy. Oh, we got an extra card up. Nice. 7 more points of damage, and I'm watching our nib carefully. So this guy will be dead reasonably well. We're going to end the turn. We're going to take a massive 20 points of damage. Oh, look, our Chalum worked because we didn't have any defense. We got 6, so it mitigates out a little bit of that. Cool. All right, so he regenerates. This guy's nearly dead. 1 hit point left. I would love if there was a way to just... oh, Cleave. Cleave will take him out easily. So let's do this. Let's Inflame. Now, remember, he'll get 1 strength over here. But we got a lot of strength right now. Now, we just got to start chopping away at this guy. So let's do Cleave real quick. Kills this guy. Hits this guy. Here we go. Pen Nib's ready. Perfected Strike's ready. Unfortunately, he's not vulnerable, but this will still be a massive 62 points of damage. Let's throw out the defense. That gets us to 22 to mitigate a good chunk of that incoming 28. That's not bad. And then Strike and Swift Strike. We're wearing him down pretty quickly, and our strength is going to really steamroll at this point with the Ritual. So we're up to 7 strength. So we're just going to pound this guy. No more cultists. It's just... bird versus us, mano y mano, right? Is that what... here we go. Fire Breathing's not going to help us. No status cards, nothing like that. Juggernaut could help us. Metallicize could help us. Is it worth giving him 1 more strength so that we gain 3 block each turn? Question mark. I want to get Juggernaut out there, because as we gain defense from, say, Iron Wave. So let's do... so this will deal 14 damage. We'll get 7 block, and then it'll deal 5 more points of damage because of the Juggernaut. That's good. And then let's get Metallicize out. It does make him hit harder, but it's going to get us 3 armor each turn. And then finally Cleave for 15. He's nearly down to half health. Pops us up to 10. So we got 13 points coming in. We're going to take a beating in this fight. We may win. And you see he's regenerating every time. Okay. We got Thunderclap. I like that because we can get some weakness on this guy finally. Yeah, here we go. Thunderclap. He's vulnerable, sorry. We can play Sever Soul because we have no non-attack cards, so let's just do it. There's your 36. I might have been able to time that a little bit better with my other strikes. It's okay. Don't sweat it. And, of course, the Shuriken is kicking off here. It goes to 2, then back to 0, and it gives us more strength. More strength. And this is perfect. We are at 9, so our Pen Nib will next turn will take the best attack card. It'll be double damage. He's down to 48. But remember, he hasn't awakened yet. So here comes a big hit. We mitigated out a little bit of it. He regenerated. The Mercury Hourglass hit. He's got a big hit coming in, 36 damage. Now the beauty part is, can we weaken him? Our Pen Nib is ready. Holy shit. Yeah, we could Whirlwind him right now. We could Whirlwind him right now. Here's the trick, though. I know what's going to happen when he awakens. It's not going to finish him off. So, I want to do Rampage. This is why. Deals 36 damage, increases this card's damage by 5 this combat. Yeah, let's just throw it out here. Watch what happens. Boom. We'll improve that, and then we can easily Iron Wave here for the final, and it'll give us a little bit of block, right? He's dead. Oh, no. He's not dead. Grr. Unknown what's going to happen. And the rest of these, we can't even use them. So although we have all this energy, we're done. We're just waiting. He is awakening. What's going to happen? Oh, that's bad. That's so bad. So here's what happens. He just dumped all the buffs we had on, or debuffs. He restored his health to 300. Of course, the Mercury Hourglass laid into him for 3 points of damage. And now he's just enraged and is going to hit us for 43 points of damage. It's bad. It's real bad. I see our 2 clashes popped up, but we can't use them because we have a dazed card. We're super hosed. We're so hosed. Ah, crap. Rage won't even do anything. Oh my god, the dazed card is gonna F us. If I could get the 2 clashes, we'd do a lot of damage, and it would get us block. There's nothing we can do. Okay, well, we'll play our 1 defense. It dealt a little damage, and he's gonna dump truck us for 43. It will kill our character. Oh well, we got a little bit more. Because of our metallicize. We're down to 3 health. What? Wow, this is crazy. Fire Fiend. Exhaust your hand. Deal 19 damage for each exhausted card. And it'll exhaust this card. It's not bad. You could exhaust those. You do, yeah, like nearly 80 points of damage. But True Grit, exhaust. You see, I needed True Grit last time to get rid of that damn status card. Here we go. Clothesline. Let's throw our Rage out first. We know we want to use Rage. Always want to use Rage. Clothesline. We'll hit him. We'll weaken him. Bring you down the damage he's going to do. We're going to do True Grit. We're going to exhaust Fire Fiend because we know we don't want to use it. And we will throw out Defense, pushing us to 19. And then, of course, our Metallicize will give us 3 more. We'll end the turn. He takes more damage. He'll hit us. It won't kill us. He'll, of course, regenerate his 10 health. Take 3 more points of damage from the Mercury Hourglass. We gain a Void card. Why? What's a Void card? Unplayable Ethereal. Whenever this card is drawn, lose 1 energy. That sucks. That's a real bummer because I would have liked to have gotten more of these off. Remember, we still want to drive up our Shurikens to keep driving our strength up higher. We cannot stop this damage. It's going to kill us off, but we can do as much damage as we can. Let's get out Vulnerable, Thunderclap for Vulnerable, then the Strike, then the Perfected Strike. It'll drive up our strength. Or do we bash him and get 3 rounds of Vulnerable and then hit him with the Perfected Strike? It's tough. Now we'll bash, and then we'll Perfected Strike for 73, and then we'll end our turn. Oh, we got a little bit of block. That's good, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to smack us down. And at this point, we would normally be dead. It would be game over. But that's not what happened. Why? Because we've been sitting on the lizard tail this whole time. It restored us to half our health, which in this case would be half of 86, would be 43 health. But because we have the Magic Flower, it improved that healing of 43 by 50%, taking us to 64. And yeah, that's what happened. We got a lot of health back. That was good. That was really good. What else can we do? Holy crud. Exhaust all your non-attack cards and deal 30 points of damage. That would be the True Grit. We want to get that out there. We got some great stuff here. So here, I want True Grit because I want to mitigate a little bit of that damage. So I'm going to play True Grit. I'm going to exhaust just a strike card. And that leaves us with 3 attacks to again trigger the Shuriken. We will hit here for that. We will clothesline, weakening the enemy, dropping that 21 down, hitting for 39. He's down to 15 point damage. And, oh, we can't get strikeout. Ah, dang it. I'm surprised. I thought that would have worked, but it's okay. Our strength is growing, though, steadily. I think we got this guy. He's at 74 health. Mercury Hourglass hits. Play Rage. Oh, it's also good. Would Whirlwind finish him off right now? 5 times 23? Yeah. There you go, folks. We did it. That was a long episode. Hooray! The Lizard Tail bailed us out. That's on the easiest difficulty level. This is the most the beginning character, lowest difficulty / ascension level, and we would have died in that boss fight if we hadn't had the Lizard Tail. Thump, 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 thump. A deep pulsing dread can be felt throughout the room. Is this the heart of the Spire? The source of evil? Continue. Yeah, this is the great heart that's beating in the Spire. You ready your blade? Attack. You deal 814 damage. The heart squirms and bleeds, but is ultimately still pounding. Are your mightiest attacks not enough? Continue. You ask yourself, have I been here before? You feel that you've dealt a total of 30,528 damage to the heart. A total of 14 billion and a lot damage has been dealt by all who've challenged it. The heart pulses louder and louder as your consciousness fades. So I'm assuming this is a total of all the players in the world that have come and faced the heart. I think this is the amount of damage you yourself have done on a given account, and we sleep. Victory? Question. We pass out. Continue. Ascension unlocked. That's right. Down here, folks, we've been working through. We've unlocked Ascension 1. We've also are unlocking cards and relics. You don't see all the available cards and relics and potions and all that right at the beginning. You gain access to more and more as you play through each of the heroes in the Spire. It's a basic scoring. Floors climbed, enemies slain, this gives you your total down here. So even if you were to fail and die and not get to the end boss, it would still score you out, and you could be working towards unlocking more. So hit unlock, and the cards unlocked are Heavy Blade, Spot Weakness, Limit Break, that's the double strength card. Note, unlock cards show up in future runs. Cool. We'll continue, and we'll proceed. New character unlocked, the Silent. Continue. Proceed. And that's it. Slay the Spire. All right, folks. That's our first successful run through. We might do more in the future. Again, I'm not the greatest at this game, but I do enjoy it. So if you watched, thanks so much, and take care.